like to show you a really wonderful recipe from my Pop It in the Toaster Oven cookbook. What I wrote about it is, I created this recipe as a welcome alternative to traditional weighty and fatty meatloaf recipes. That's why this recipe is called Light and Lively Loaf. I go on to say the texture is aerated, grainy and hearty, and using ground turkey breast or chicken breast meat makes the fat content much lower than if the meatloaf were made with ground beef. And if you have a food processor, you can do the grating of the celery, the carrot, and the onion in the food processor. That takes about 8 minutes off of this recipe. So I have preheated my oven to 400 degrees, and this is so typical of many of the recipes in this book. You do the chopping or the processing, grating or whatever, put all the ingredients together, put them in a pan and pop it in the toaster oven. So once that little bit of work is done, the toaster oven takes care of the rest, and that's all there is to it. Okay, so what I have here is a half a cup of grated celery, a half a cup of grated carrot. I have a tablespoon of finely chopped onion here, and 2 cups of the ground turkey breast. Then I will be also adding a half a teaspoon of powdered garlic and freshly ground pepper and salt to taste. And I nearly forgot, I also have 1 egg. It doesn't have to be beaten because it's all going to be mixed together. Now I'm just going to be putting all of these ingredients in the bowl. Celery, carrot, ground turkey breast, grated carrot there, and the finely chopped onion. Then I'm going to add about, I think this would be about a half teaspoon of salt, some freshly ground pepper, and then I have a half a teaspoon of powdered garlic. Now I'm just going to be mixing this all together. Make sure it's mixed well. Then this mixture is going to go into this. You can have a nonstick pan. It's about 8 by 8 by 2.5, I think, like a cake pan this size or something similar. This is not a nonstick pan, so I've actually put a little oil in it first, probably about a half a tablespoon of oil, just regular vegetable oil. So I'm spreading the mixture around like this. It's quite colorful for a meatloaf because it's got the carrots and the celery in it. Now the toaster oven is up to 400 degrees, so I'm going to put this meatloaf in uncovered. Now I'm going to set the timer for 30 minutes, and then it should be done. I will look to see if it has a nicely lightly browned top. That's what I'll be looking for. Okay, well, there it is. There's the light and lively meatloaf, beautifully browned. It smells absolutely wonderful. Oh, this smells so good. Why would you want a burger when you could have meatloaf? Not so much fat in this. The flavor is really nice. Something about the carrots and the celery together just gives it, it tastes meaty, but it still has this wonderful enhancement of flavors. Maybe you would want to experiment with this recipe and try some additives like Worcestershire sauce or ketchup some of your favorite, like Tabasco or a pepper sauce. There's no end to variations on this theme. I would say give this a try though, because once you get everything chopped up, pop it in the toaster oven 30 minutes, and you get this wonderful, wonderful meatloaf. I'm going to heat this up probably tonight, and I will probably pair it with a couple of nicely baked sweet potatoes.